You can't feel sorry for other drivers. You have to be selfish when it comes to this because obviously you want the best place. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for visiting me once again, and let's see what we have for today in a Girl Talks Formula One. I think my makeup look is a little bit intense today, is it not? Today I am going to be talking to you about Drive to Survive on Netflix once again, but we are almost done with season 2. So much more Formula One related content is coming to my channel since it's still gonna be a while till season 3. Today's episode is pretty much the most intense one from the 2 seasons, and it is called Racing Bulls. So do you guys remember where we stayed on the previous episode? Pierre Gasly got kicked out of Red Bull, but who is replacing him today? That is precisely how this episode starts on the Netflix series, and believe me, it was pretty intense. So the reason why they decided to release Pierre from Red Bull was because he never performed higher than 5th place, and they know they have podium potential in their car. The brave sport that is going to be with Max Verstappen is Alexander Albon. Why am I talking like I'm British? You might be asking yourself. Well, Alex Albon has 2 nationalities. He is half Thai from his mom's side and half British from his dad's side. But when it comes to motorsports, you can only choose one nationality. Therefore, he went with the Thai. We don't see many Thai racers in the Formula One, so he took a pretty smart decision, especially regarding the fact that when he was in Formula 2, after a while, he got kicked out. His whole life, he had been trying to dedicate himself to motorsport, and he practically got pulled away from the thing he loved the most. But the reason is not because he wasn't good enough, but because he wasn't in the right mindset. He started having major family trouble that I really don't want to get into right now because I am not a gossip queen. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, I would invite you to go to Google or watch the series on Netflix. Point is that he had to sustain his family. But when he got pulled out, he started looking for Thai sponsors. This was a moment when he decided the Thai nationality was going to be the nationality that he was going to set himself in the Formula One. He used to be in Toro Rosso, and basically Pierre and him just switched places. As Helmut Marko tells us, Toro Rosso is part of the concentration program from Red Bull. So just like Alfa Romeo or Haas are from Ferrari, you know, they put the newcomers in those teams and then they take them to Ferrari. That's the same thing that they do with Toro Rosso drivers. They go up to Red Bull. This is his first year in the Formula One. After only 12 races, he's already moved to a top tier team. And he seemed like the perfect candidate to fill in this position. Before that, Alex Albon used to be in Formula 2, and as he tells us, Formula 2 is very serious for young drivers. It's your way to Formula 1. The only thing that I don't like so much about him is how much doubt he has repeatedly throughout the episode. That there's only 20 drivers in the Formula 1, so you never know when you might lose that opportunity. I don't want to speak for him because, well, I'm not in the Formula 1 and I'm not in a 20 anything worldwide of nothing. But it's true. If you don't perform up to the standards, you can get kicked out. Nobody has a safe seat. Pierre Gasly was a pure proof that he didn't even finish the season and he had already been switched to another team. Thankfully not downgraded, but switched. So drivers like Pierre, George, Charles, Alex Albon, and between a few others have known each other since they were kids. They're all in the same program of, well, drivers that want to make it to the Formula One, so they're all like brothers. But when it comes to the Formula One, Alex tells us, you can't feel sorry for other drivers. You have to be selfish when it comes to this because obviously you want the best place and you want the highest positions. What was pretty shameful was that Pierre Gasly didn't even know he was leaving Red Bull. He sort of had an idea, but then reporters started harassing him and asking him so many questions about whether he knew or not about the decision being made. I really admire him because he is from the best drivers when it comes to media. He always knows when to talk, when not, what to say, and what not to say. He started getting clearly a little bit overwhelmed until he decided, you know what, I'm not gonna take this bullshit. And he just stayed quiet and walked away. But let's keep on talking about Alexander Albon, aka Alex. Since his heritage is Thai, we know that Asians tend to meditate a lot, which is a way to go if you ask me. What he does before every race to get in the right mindset and not let the Formula One get to him is meditate. He takes a few minutes before every race, practice, or qualifying to actually get in the right mindset and in the winning mindset. Basically, to be concentrated. So, in his first race with Red Bull in Spa, he got a penalty. But wait, that wasn't the most shocking thing that happened that day. We all know that before the Formula One, there is Formula 2 going on. The Formula 2 young drivers were driving, and Lewis Hamilton, between other drivers, were being interviewed, and then they all stopped. There was a crash between Juan Manuel Correa and Antoine Hubert. Nobody knew what was going on, so they just all kept on looking at the TVs. And you can see how Lewis Hamilton was trying to regain his focus with the reporters, but he just lost it. He started saying like, oh man, poor kids, what's going on here? What happened? The race got suspended, and unfortunately, something tragic happened. Antoine Hubert, such a promising talent, passed away. Also, this caused so much trauma in Juan Manuel Correa that he decided to leave any formula and decided to retire. Everybody was so sad. All the young new drivers in the Formula One had actually raced with Antoine when they were younger. But the one that is the most devastated was Pierre Gasly, because they used to be roommates and best friends. Pierre was actually in the paddock when this happened. He saw his mom and his dad crying, but he wasn't understanding what was going on until they told them. He was once again overwhelmed, so this must have been the hardest weekend in Pierre Gasly's life. What Alex's mom tells us is true. All the mothers are scared for their child to be a driver. And I mean, we all know how dangerous motorsports are. And each and every single driver and team principals starts telling us how, like, before they all get into the cars, they're all always scared because they know the dangers and what can actually occur. Since they're all aware of this danger, they can't get into a car thinking about this. So they have to automatically switch off and get in the right mindset. Because like Christian Horner told us previous episode, you have to drive with instinct. The race had a horrible start. Max Verstappen was out of the Grand Prix in the first lap. So all the pressure of the Red Bull team was relying on Alex Albon, the newest newbie there is. Ironically, during that race, Pierre Gasly was performing very well, if you ask me. So the question here is, was the pressure of Red Bull too much for Pierre and this got to him? Because now that he feels freer in a way and more supported, he's actually being good. Alex couldn't take it. He wants to fight for his position, and he started overtaking like crazy. He went from 13th place to 5th place, while Pierre Gasly ended up in 9th. This despite the Red Bull car being a very difficult car to drive. So this is it, you guys. There is not much to say about this episode. I pretty much didn't even want to talk about it, but it is what I owe you all to continue with the Drive to Survive series. Next week is much brighter, talking about Ferrari. I am a Ferrari girl, so this is going to be one of the most exciting episodes. See you guys next week, and hope you have a great week. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Manena. Hasta la vista, baby.